Some people have class, others finesse, and a rare few of them have riz. I myself have a small case of tinnitus in both ears. Don't blast that music when you're young, kids. Welcome back, everyone, to this week's MMA wrap-up, where we cover all the martial arts related news to have happened in the last week, and let's be real, most of the time it's got to do with UFC because they're the biggest thing in martial arts news. And this week, I thought it'd be more conducive to begin with our main story, so here we go. And I'm sorry to tell you guys, it's honestly really sad. For those of you who may not have been aware, former UFC champion Penn has been in and out of the court system recently and getting 2 separate charges within the last year of abuse of a household or family member, his mother specifically, who also filed a restraining order against him that he then violated later that year, leading to another arrest. In total, Penn has been arrested no less than 6 times with a separate third-degree assault charge, a misdemeanor, pending that's totally away from the other stuff. But none of that is actually what I'm trying to talk to you about. That's just the build-up to what has become the current issue. And that is that he missed a mental health evaluation, citing that it was his own attorney's fault, and is then also now asked the judge overseeing his case to recuse themselves and he can get another one. Penn claims that his attorney did not inform him about the mental health evaluation, citing that his last communication with the guy was back in October of 2025. Penn claimed it was a third party evaluating the court docket who then informed him about this evaluation that he has, well, missed. And yes, his actions are absolutely heinous, from the assault to the abuse. There's really a problem going on and he needs help, but really he needs to be kind of, well, jailed at this point, which it sucks to say. He was a world champion. He did a lot of good for the sport. He got so many people involved. He is many people's heroes. So it's probably very hard to watch him fall. Not to mention the whole issue he had with Dana White where he's begging him for money and assistance. While I have my gripes with Daddy UFC, it's really not his responsibility. There is just clearly some mental health dilemmas going on in that man's life. I really do hope he gets the help he needs, but until then, he kind of needs to be put in a secure facility where someone can keep an eye on him. Which, now that I'm thinking about it, is probably why they wanted him to take the mental health evaluation to see where he stands when he stands for court. Although, just purely speculating, I'm sure they're going to find that he is mentally capable of standing before a judge, jury, and prosecutor. Next on our list today, we're talking about RAF 5, or for those of you who just joined the party, Real American Freestyle, the only actual wrestling competition that is on the mainstream right now, depicting actual wrestling skills, particularly freestyle wrestling, and not just hitting people over the head with steel chairs.
Back to that corner ring. Oh my God, look out!
Although admittedly, when I first covered this event, that's kind of what I thought was gonna happen. Pro wrestling, but you're allowed to do the real stuff. That's definitely not what's happening. It's like collegiate wrestling. And in this, we have 2 things to talk about, so let's jump right into it. First of all, Knuckle versus Yoel Romero was scheduled to be the headliner for a belt that I've now forgotten the weight class of. It was for the 205-pound championship. I kind of thought they'd have a name for that, but nope, just 205-pound championship. Champion. Woo! This title was bestowed upon upon Yoel Romero missing weight for the bout by 7 pounds, which, yikes. I know the guy's up there in age, but if you're gonna compete, you should be competing at a weight class you know you can attain on a regular, ongoing basis. Maybe 205 is just not possible anymore.
I'm too fat!
Which of course is my professional armchair take after he made weight every other time, probably for that weight class. I don't know what weight he normally competes at, but this was for a championship. It's really the time to lock in. If you're gonna miss weight, and do it in the first event. That's a really bad advice, actually. Either way, we now have champ Knuckle, who is actually not competing at this event. He just kind of won it by way of disqualification. However, Yoel Romero is still competing, or did still compete at the event, but against Buchanan, who, unless I'm mistaken, I believe also missed weight and so had to be shifted into this bout with Yoel. Stefan's original opponent, Pat Downey, much like Bo, also did not compete at the event, given these turn of events. Interestingly enough, this is the second time Romero versus Knuckle has been scrapped, with the first time being Bo's problem and now Yoel being the cause of the sudden no bout happening. And while I don't remember why Bo didn't compete that time, It'd be kind of funny if it was weight related, right? I mean, now they'd be even on the scoreboards at least. And now for the next piece of our RAF 5 segment, Colby Covington dominated Luke Rockhold and then called out GSP. Which, I mean, that would be an entertaining match to see George jump back in there and manhandle Colby Covington. I think we'd all have a good time with that one. Colby Covington only actually needed 2 periods to beat Luke Rockhold, ending with a 12-0, gaining a technical fall. And I'm not a wrestler. Like, I do wrestling, but I never competed in that. So I don't really know what that means other than to assume it's a dramatic win, because it was 12-0. I guess following this event, there was some sort of issue regarding a conversation about Colby in the top 15 rankings in his weight class in the UFC, to which his response was then to just pull him out of the rankings. More on that maybe as the future events unfold. Either way, congrats to Colby Covington on his clearly unanimous decisive win. And now everyone, it is time for your favorite segment on this channel, Tales from the Interwebs. Where I showcase some weird crap to have happened on social media, usually regarding people fighting wild animals, each other in odd ways, or just training methods that really should be sent to the, abyss of Tartarus. Yeah, that place. And in this video today, we have a wonderful depiction of a young lady trying to condition her fists with an incoming sledgehammer. Check it out. There are so many ways to condition your knuckles for combative purposes. Number one, you can just punch a heavy bag, bare knuckle or wrapped, at about 25% power, just kind of tapping it over and over again to get a look for it, to get a feel for it. Give your knuckles a little bit of resistance to start toughening up. Build those micro tears into the bone. But punching a goddamn sledgehammer is how you get macro tears in the bones. Fractures / compound fractures. You know, the things that suck the knuckles way back into the back of the hand. It's called the boxer's fracture for those who haven't heard of it before. Pretty nasty stuff, and usually happens by complete way of accident, not an intentional training method. Which, let me clarify this, it's not a training method. Don't do that, that's very, very dumb. And I feel very, very sorry for your friends and family if you do that, because they have to put up with you for the rest of the time that you're not doing that. And clearly you already have really bad ideas. Don't beat your body with a sledgehammer. You know, it's just... In any case, thank you all very much for watching this week's MMA wrap-up. If you made it this far, please remember to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and remember it all goes to helping the nonprofit Free MMA, where we teach everyone martial arts for no cost. So every action you commit to this channel, hopefully positively, but I guess even if you leave a negative comment, it still helps in some way, goes straight to those kids learning martial arts for free, so thank you very much.
It's just all it takes is $1 to save a child.
And remember to eat well, sleep well, train hard, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care.